edition of G-Rock Rising. Joining us today, Glad Hearts, 2 out of 3 anyway, of Glad Hearts, who these days still like to call New Brunswick home. Feels like home, have a lot of history there, have a lot of musical history there too. We have Ryan and John. Not with us today is Jimmy. So thanks for coming by, you guys, today.
Oh, thanks for having us. This is great.
First things first, the thing you're going to want to pick up after you see what we're talking about today, and after you hear Glad Hearts do a couple songs for us, you're going to want to pick up A Year in a Circle, because that's the EP that you guys have available for purchase, I guess, at the shows, online, or what's the deal like that?
Actually, for free via the website,
okay.
Yeah, and then it's also up on iTunes, but...
you feel inclined to pay a little money?
Yeah.
Will you turn down?
you made the call there, but yeah, you get it from our website, which is gladhearts.com.
Okay.
Gladhearts.
Yeah, with a hyphen between the
I think some
Between the two parts, Glad,
Yeah.
Dash Hearts.
yeah, some what is it, like a heart association, something
Oh, yeah.
to help kids get hearts. Like they
That would
stole
be Glad Heart
Hearts.
too, I
They
suppose.
stole Glad Hearts from us. So.
They got to it a little bit sooner. Well, that's actually a good place to start with you guys then. The idea that everybody out there, so many bands that we've had in already with G-Rock Rising, the constant struggle to get your music out there, get the fan base going, spread fan base as much as possible, and the idea of still making some money off of it in the process. Obviously, you've gone the route of just trying to get the exposure out there, get the buzz going. Was that a long debate before you decided to post the songs up there for like free download? And or how did you kind of come to the place you're at right now with the music availability?
We all pretty much were settled on that from the beginning of the recording. We just knew that was what we were going to do with it. Just so really flattered when people listen to our music, and this was a way to, I think, show that and get as many people to listen as possible.
So it wasn't a hard decision for you two and the band collectively. Is it something that you've talked to other bands? I know we've talked a little bit about the fact that you call New Brunswick home. You have a lot of great shows coming up there in the near future through the summer, so lots of chances for people to see Glad Hearts. But is it something on the scene that you've been exposed to other bands, their struggles as well?
Our drummer Jimmy, his band, short-lived band before this, put out an EP or a whole album.
Yeah, it was like a shorter album.
That they basically gave out for free as well.
Right, and it just seems to really be the best way to get a hold of people these days.
Yeah, it just seems like the whole, buying music public is dwindling. So it's like, as long as you're out there and in the public eye, I think most of the money that bands make, is playing off live. But it's not like we're expecting to make any sort of money any time near future.
Having your voices, your songs heard, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
On the larger scale of things, we've talked in the past about Radiohead's chance with their release. I mean, very recently right now, when I'm speaking with you guys, REM, the release is set for April 1st, but it's already been streaming on ilike.com, which is
cool.
not necessarily, I think it might still be easy to transfer, but the idea is that it's out there and it's for the fans to hear first and foremost. So a lot of bands, no matter what end of the spectrum you're at, or no matter what stage of the game you're in, I think kind of are along the same thoughts that you guys are with Glad Hearts, as far as just getting the music out there and having you, the listener, enjoy it and hopefully spreading the word. I noticed that you do have a lot of shows in the New Brunswick area. You both went to Rutgers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you were familiar with the scene for years now at this point, and went to school there, and probably indulged in the musical scene back then, even before becoming a band. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
What do you have to think? A lot of the things that we've addressed here with musicians as part of G-Rock Rising is the idea of the music scene in New Jersey kind of getting split up a little bit as far as just the location. I mean, just the layout of the state in general. You have the Asbury Park crowd that a lot of times winds up being tight-knit, and then you have some North Jersey. I know there's like one venue in particular that I'm thinking of, I think in the Pompton Lakes area or something, that's very catering to independent music. Yes, the Southern Jersey, New Brunswick is the heart of it as far as like that Middlesex area goes, especially the Cork Tavern comes to mind. How do you think it's progressed from, say, when you were in college there to now as a band that's out and doing several shows coming up?
Oh, that's a good one. I see a big difference. When I was in college, the internet, like wide use of the internet for distribution of music and things like that was just kind of getting started. There wasn't MySpace or Facebook at that time. Mm-hmm. So through that, I feel like a lot of bands may have been able to overcome that sort of spread out nature of New Jersey that you mentioned, and network a lot better, talk to like-minded bands in other areas. So that's a big difference that I see.
So, and what do you feel, like, kind of along the same lines as far as?
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of like you're saying. I used to throw shows at my house in New Brunswick when I lived there, and I did a couple like solo shows and stuff. And we actually were just talking about a couple weeks ago how I felt like it was almost too close knit when I was in
When you were there.
when I was there.
Before
it
the
felt,
whole
yeah.
internet explosion in that sense.
It felt like bands weren't doing enough to like kind of get out. And there's nothing wrong with like forming a tight knit family, but like, what's the point of kind of being so inclusive that you exclude like so many other people?
Right.
So, I think like we just went to go see a couple New Brunswick bands Saturday, Sunday.
Monday night.
Yeah. The Hunchback and Screaming Females, and they seem to be like, you know, taking steps, and especially Screaming Females seem to be going out and playing a lot more shows outside of like this, just like
One little scene, kind of expanding their horizons that way, getting on the road a little bit as far as the circle goes.
Yeah. It's great to have home base, but
right.
Like,
but you want to get out there and get more fans and get to places that haven't necessarily heard you. So it seems like a very encouraging thing then, because I know the internet help you or hurt you, the idea that there's so many bands to choose from, but it seems like you guys have a pretty healthy outlook as Glad Hearts as far as you're going to use it to your advantage, you're going to use it to network, and that's the way that you're thinking of it moving forward. I know you mentioned we have the EP we're talking about, A Year in Circle, that you can get easily at glad-hearts.com, as you'll see right there on the screen. But there's also some plans to maybe lay down some new songs heading into the next several summer months or so.
Yeah, we're going to record and hopefully have a full-length album out in August and go out and play some shows because, as great as the internet is, it'll never be a substitute for a live show. So
that's the biggest hook, is to try to get you to come see them live, and to help add to that hook, we're going to have you play us a couple songs right now.
Cool.
So Glad Hearts, it's Glad Hearts, no the necessary. I'm Erin Vogt. This has been another edition of G-Rock Rising.